Hey guys, welcome to fishingwithvance.com. Glad that you could join us. Just want to go over a few of the lures that we had used here in the past year in 2016. Some of the different things that we had had some pretty good success with, I would say. And just wanted to be able to share that with you guys, and then also get a little bit of feedback and some comments on what you guys thought about that, or what you guys have also had success with. So here we go. To start off, as you can see, we have our KVD perfect plastic worms that we have set up here, the 5-inch and then also the 6.5. This was probably our main go-to guy for the majority of the year, especially the first half. This is the KVD perfect plastic blue fleck worm. Did a lot of damage with this, fished this, largemouth, smallmouth, catfish, etc. Did really well with this. As the year went on, we sort of graduated up to the 6.5-inch and continue to have success with that in various different colors here. This guy here is the same one, the blue fleck. And what I wanted to show you here is that we had a couple of the different ones, and then how we did the hook set. So the traditional hook is usually in the front of the worm like this, but then what we found with the size of that worm, and usually with the head pointed down as you're in the water, we missed a lot of strikes, a lot of hits. So what we did is that we continued to gradually move that hook back, and our hookup rate was dramatically increased then over the course of the summer, and we continued to do really well with that. So I'm sure that's nothing new. Guys have been doing that. That was just something that we sort of found that worked for us, so we wanted to share that with you. Hopefully then you guys will also be able to see this here is what's known as the Superline Gamakatsu hook offset. This here is the regular. Those are both 3/0, if you can imagine that, but hopefully you'll be able to see the difference there between the two hooks. Nice about this is that that gives you a little bit of extra weight there in your lure, and then that can cause that to sink, and then hopefully you'll be able to use a little bit of less split shot or weight up the line. So just something to think about, and you guys can play with that as you see fit. A couple of the other ones then, we had some of the super flukes going on here, and as you can see we have these hooked with the Gamakatsu hooks, two different presentations. We got the hook on the top, hook on the bottom. That will alter how that falls through the water. Big thing with these, and then also with the worms, especially if you're in the river, you got to make sure that you have the swivel on there, and we even do that whenever we're in the pond or the lake as well. So make sure that you have that swivel on there. As these guys go through the water, they're going to spin and spin and spin, and if you don't have that swivel on there, that's really going to cause you some havoc later on in the day then. So split shots you can have, again, depending on the river or the pond lake conditions, that you'll sort of have to gauge by yourself. So that's like a modified Carolina rig is what we were using there, but again, had a lot of success with that. I know towards the end of the year I did not use any split shots, and I just used the weight of that super shank hook and just sort of let that naturally float that fluke to the bottom. Did really well with that. So a couple of the other presentations then that we got, obviously here's the tube. Big fan of the bleeding tube here that we got. This here is the true turn hook that we have right here. That's the 2/0 size. As you can see, that has the barbs in the hook that helps to hold that tube on there. Big thing with this, obviously you have the exposed hook, so you got to be careful with where you're tossing that, because that can be snag city. So you just got to be a little bit more careful with that than some of these other presentations where the hook is embedded into your lure. But did really well with that, not only in the river but then also in the pond and the lakes, catching a lot of bass on that. Paddle bait here that you have, very similar to the setup with the worm. Only difference here, you do have that channel that's in the middle of the bait so that you can try and make this weedless to the best of your ability. Big thing with that then, because that hook is down in that channel, if you do get a strike or a hit, you really got to make sure that you set that hook in order to drive that hook through all that plastic and then also into the fish. So please be aware of that. Probably then our last setup, and one of my favorites, was with the Rage Craw. I love fishing this Rage Craw. I had a lot of luck with it. This particular one here, we have the weighted hook here on the front. Just wanted to show you guys that setup. This guy also has the channel in the bottom. And you can put that hook right in the channel to give you a weedless presentation. That'll make that craw fall just like that. A couple different styles of fishing out. You can fish it slow, you can fish it fast, depending on what's going on in the time of the year. but we did really well with that. Caught a lot of bigger fish with that guy right there. Again, as that hook is in that channel, you really got to make sure that you set that hook. I missed a lot of fish on that lure right there, and somehow I always remember the ones that I missed more than the ones that I catch. So quick overview then. Here's those two Gamakatsu hooks I was telling you guys about. These are both 3/0s, but one is the super line, or what we call the super shank Frank, here on the right. Hopefully you guys can see that, and you can definitely tell there with the difference in between the eyes and the gauge of that steel or that wire that's in there. Really gives you a lot of confidence whenever you're fishing. Plus then you know that that super shank is going to give you a little bit of weight, so you might be able to take it off your line. That's these two guys here. Again, a lot of luck. Love those products. True Turn, which I already had out there for you. And then what we use the majority of the time then for the year was this Stren line. Vance really loves this stuff. Used somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 pound was probably our most common. Depending on what was going on, we would bump it up to 8 or 12. Really like the clear blue over all the other ones. So had a lot of luck with that. But that was just a quick overview of what we had going on for the past year and what we used and what we had success with. Probably want to hear a little bit of feedback from you guys and what you have used, any different kind of rigging styles, if you guys like these, or if you don't, if you've had luck, whatever. So leave us some comments. Hope that you guys like the video. Please make sure that you subscribe to our channel for more videos that are going to be coming. And thank you guys for watching. This has been fishingwithvance.com.